All right, mathletes, welcome back to another episode of Math with Dr. Math. We're starting a new series, and this series is where I bring folks just like you and me to the table, and we talk about our college experience, we talk about our educational experience, and we talk about what's helped us grow. And I pick people in particular that have challenged themselves and been uncomfortable in certain situations and have done amazing things, whether they like to believe it or not, that I've seen. And so I want it to be a motivation and inspiration to people because, you know, I think all of us can relate, right, to being to the situation. And I just want to help people wherever you are, whatever country you're in, whatever situation you're in, to overcome and to learn from one another, because that's what we were made for. All right, so we got Valentina here, we got Magdalena here, and let me start off by asking, and don't worry about you speaking at the same time. You guys just go. So, what was your experience before coming to this college? How did you feel? Because they're in my stats class. Um, where were you education wise, or maybe feeling compared to now? Or you could just talk about the past. Anyone. I just want to know where you started.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Valentina once again, and I started from the bottom. I started with my GED, and last year I needed to complete one exam so I can graduate from my GED. But unfortunately, I could not take the test because I exceeded my 3 chances. But at the meantime, I didn't want to waste time due to my age, me being at that time 43. So I said, well, I'm going to go to Hartnell and take a class until that time comes. And so I took English 1A and chemistry. So I finished those classes. Now, the beginning of 2024, I said, okay, I'm ready to take the test. But for some reason, the books they never came in at the Salinas Adult School. So I was getting ready to take Math 13 with Dr. Perez here, Dr. Math. And so I invited Magdalena. I said, come on, we're gonna go take math together. So now that I took my test, I passed my test, and I just got the notification last week. And when I started math, I was very, very nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I had those mixed emotions. Am I gonna be able to do it? But I was putting those limits. So I decided to take Math Academy, in which I invited Magdalena as well. I go, Magdalena, let's get ourselves prepared to be exposed what kind of numbers we're gonna be seeing, So Magdalena said, okay, send me the link. So I sent her the link, and we showed up here at Math Academy, and a very great professor. And I see myself as, when I started day one, I was very, very nervous. But I'm just enjoying it week by week. Each math assignments, I see them, I review them first, and then I start, get into it. And when I less expected, I finished all my assignments. I've been taking it day by day, week by week. And here, a 44-year-old person doing it, I mean, anybody could do math. I mean, it's amazing. I've been enjoying it. I show up to the study groups. I try to come once a week to see faces, to interact with the teacher. And Hartnell College has offered me, it's like my second home. I enjoy it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And we're going to talk more about a lot of things that she said.
Okay. Well, my name is Magdalena again, and I'm 53 years old. And I'm just learning that age doesn't matter when you want to succeed. You want to go ahead. But then I'm still learning that, and it's taking me time to do that. So I decided to go back to school because when I moved from the Bay Area to Salinas, I find out that it's harder to find a job here. And besides that, all the simple jobs like McDonald's and whatever, even though my experience in that restaurant is like 30 years of experience, I didn't want to go the line anymore to the restaurant, so I wanted to do something different. But I found out that every little job they require the GED, which I didn't have, and I never took the time to do. So I told myself, I have to do it. I was so afraid just to take the decision, just think about it. I was so frightened. But then I say, well, I have to do it somehow. And I believe, everything happens for a reason at the right time, because if I would have done this before, I probably wouldn't found the right professor, which, to start with, my great experience in school was with Tim Emerald, taking classes for my GED. And besides that person, besides a teacher, he became a friend and also a therapist, which helped us a lot to overcome with a lot of personal problems. So from there I learned that I had to get out of the house and stop bad habits, like just playing with the remote control, see what, just to spend my time watching anything on the TV, and start using my time more wisely and positive. So I decided to take the chance and go back to school. I couldn't believe that in 1 year I was able to pass all my GED tests and get my certificate. I met Valentina, which has been a great support for myself, because to me, taking decision has been enormously difficult. And being around people like Valentina, like Tim Amaral, like other people around me, like 64-year-old woman trying to get her GED and asking herself, what am I gonna do with my life after this? It's like, oh my God, that was something. So I passed my GED, and in the meantime, we were lucky that Harnell was offering the counseling one class at the same time for free. We took it together, we learned a lot, and from there we came to Harnell.
They teach us how to do our classes, they
Right.
teach us how to enroll ourselves, everything.
Yes. So I don't want to stop. My decision is, like, after all these experiences, meeting wonderful people, that gives all the support in the world that we don't know, like Mr. Perez is great also. I don't want to stop going to school, no matter what age I am. I don't want to stop going to school. Learning, to me, it's opened up so many doors, and it's helping me to heal a lot of stuff personally also.
Believe in yourself more.
Believe in myself. I didn't believe at zero. I had to start working on that Sudoku, because I wasn't able to retain 3 numbers in my head.
Yeah, she would tell me, no, I'm too old for that. I said, no, you're not. You're gonna come with me. Let's go. So we're here.
So we're here and planning not to stop learning ever. Even if I take 1 class by semester, I'm just gonna keep going.
All right, it's amazing. So many things I want to highlight. So thank you guys both so much, and so proud of them. So let's think about stage 1. And the reason I asked them is because they've overcome so much, and when they share their stories, right, it inspires me and inspires people listening. And it's kind of, we don't do this enough as people, is reflect in terms of what we've overcome. Because when you're like, wait a minute, I did this, I did that, we just keep going and we forget those huge victories, which are amazing, because the more you remember these, once you get to your next obstacle, you're like, I've already overcome stuff, and you keep going. And so you spoke about the Math Academy. What are some things, it's for both of you, we'll start. What are some things, moments in Math Academy? We could start with like day 1 that kind of stood out for you, and kind of talked to you, as like, what spoke to you?
Well, when I was in Math Academy, the first day was Monday. I still picking up my keys to really come here was, do I really want to do it? But inside of me, I like math. Math has been my strongest subject. So once I got here, what really left a footprint in my person, in my heart. You said something, Dr. Math, that really healed my person. And once you said it, I think we even crossed, eyes. We crossed eye contact when you said it. That I never believed the biggest lie, and I think that's really made me think that when I was a little girl in elementary, I think one of my teachers told me, "No, you're not gonna make. Math is not for you." So, but I always had that incline towards math, that I always liked the numbers, and I just don't know. I see numbers and I can count tens and 20s like fast. So that really left me it healed me. It made me feel that I was in the right place, to start off with Math Academy. And just by talking to different students there, and the presentations you had there, made me feel that I was in the right place. I just connected very well with everybody there. The exercises you guys did with their birthdays and everything, putting everybody in different groups. We were doing math basically. So, but yeah, it's really nice. I really recommend it to everybody. I spoken up about Math Academy to different people that are gonna be taking math, how wonderful it is, and it's just like opening that door to be where you're gonna be exposed with math.
How about yourself? Thank you.
Well, to me, Math Academy, to start with, math is never been my thing. The X was never different from Y to me, and I didn't understand why. There was no sense to me. So I don't understand how I got to the second year of high school in Mexico. I have no idea how I did it. So since I knew I was gonna take a math class here at the Hartnett College, then I thought, Math Academy is probably something good, that it's gonna be opening up my eyes or my brain to start understanding the simple things from math. So plus, I decided that in my life I will try anything that will help me. Anything, if it's big, small, it doesn't really matter. So I decided to join the Math Academy. I met wonderful people. It wasn't what I expected. I was expecting to see classes, explaining how to do divisions and stuff like that. But it was totally something different when we were present here at the college. But then we had the great experience. Myself, I had the great experience of meeting Javier, which is another great person, a great teacher also, another person who inspired me to keep going and to keep working hard. And if I don't understand something from math, I have to work hard to understand it, to understand the beginning, so I know what happens next. I don't want to just answer a problem and being able to answer, but I don't understand why. And with this class, statistics, I've been learning that I have to be able to understand, the beginning of a problem to see what's going on and find the result. So the Math Academy was an eye-opening for me. Anybody can do anything, and don't be. It's probably good to be afraid, because that pushes you to do better. That pushes you to do it, to see how strong we are. And I don't know. Probably it's good to be afraid, and that's was pushing me to keep going and to see how capable I am. Even though everybody, it's funny that everybody around me, my friends, especially my family, know how capable I am to do great things. I'm the only person that doesn't know, so I have to find out for myself. And math is doing a great difference.
Fantastic. So, for those of you that are note takers, I wasn't, but this is one thing I want you kind of catching the theme. They keep mentioning folks and Javier, and different people. So surround yourself. You have to find those people in life that are going to encourage you, motivate you, and push you in the positive direction. That's a huge recipe. We're not meant to be alone or and to do things alone. And so much of what I see from here, and you could just hear it, right, is these two wonderful people have a great friendship, sounds like, and a supporting cast. And so you, if you're not born into that great supporting cast, then you have to find that great supporting cast. And there's people, I promise you, out there they're going to root for you. I know I am, and encourage you. And so with that, let's continue talking about, so belief is hard. And you have to believe, because I promise you this, you have everything you need. And that's something we talked about in the Math Academy, and that both of them mentions. We have everything we need inside of us to be successful. And it's bringing that out, right? And because if you don't believe, most people won't even try to start something. And so that's huge. So again, I'm gonna bring in their cheat codes. I'm gonna ask them some questions because they're doing wonderful things in the class. Some of my top performers, and I have over 200 students around. And I asked them to share, hey, what are the things you're doing that are helping you succeed in this class? Because they're more than just succeeding. They're getting life skills, sharing life skills with each other and other people. So what are you doing to succeed in the stats class? And this will translate to any class.
Well, I sit down, I can say almost every day, and just go through the notes, open up the book, because I bought the book for the class. So just by opening the book, I know I'm going to see what's going to be happening for the next week. Not that I have the answers yet, but I just know what I'm preparing myself in my mind. What am I going to be exposed? That's been helping me. And I really think it's just believing in yourself. Always believe in yourself that, you could do it. We're not born being perfect. We're not born knowing everything. I think you're going to know. To become better, you gotta practice it every day, and that's what the perfection comes. But like you said, surrounding around with positive people makes a big difference. That's one of the main reasons why I try to come here, because I see young people. Me being 44 and seeing the young, girls and guys here doing their work. Just by interacting, that makes you feel that if they're doing it, I could do it. And it could be the other way around too. I can motivate them too. Me being, at this age, I can motivate, if she's doing it, I could do it too. So like you said, surrounding her with positive people, I think it's like a recipe. You put everything together, and when you less expect it, you're gonna be better than what you thought you were gonna be.
Oh, amazing. And so before we move on, so let's think about that. You have to do it a little bit, at least every day. Every day. That's a huge, huge takeaway. And then put yourself in the environment, right, where you're able to do it. You're in a good environment to learn. You're supported if you need to. Right now we're in a learning center, so there's that support. So make sure, again, you're taking notes on this. What yourself? What are some of your things because you're doing a lot of things that are helping you succeed? Share some things.
To start with, I had to put in my head that I was gonna give it 100% of myself, because in the past, everything I started, I didn't finish, and that gives a sense of not a good feeling in ourselves. And do not procrastinate. That's another thing that I'm working on. So I decided that since I was gonna give it 100%, I was gonna study every day, never miss class. because to be honest, there's been a couple of days that I don't feel like going to class, but I say to myself, this is the only way. What are you gonna do staying home? I mean, what good are you gonna get staying home? I might study, but it's not gonna be the same as coming to class and interact with our with the other students, our teacher that explains all the questions that we have. So coming to class, it's one of the keys to succeed. Do the homework. If there's lab help, make sure you spend the time that we need. That you need to come to the lab and use it, and use your tutors, use the people around you that they're willing to help. So I think coming to class, being present all the time, coming to lab, doing homework, and personally for myself, it's been taking a lot of hours reading the explanations on Alex, because to me it takes a lot to understand something, but it feels so great when I'm able to understand and to know what I'm really doing, that I know that what I'm doing. I mean, working with peers, coming to class, coming to lab, doing homework, talking to other people, meeting new people makes that big difference of how to succeed in whatever we're doing, not just stats.
Man, I wish I could bottle this up, because if I could get people to believe this, and I think we do a good job, but so let's think about that. Again, the dedication and the discipline to be there daily and at home doing the work. Not only doing the work, but making sure we understand the work, right? And when you don't understand, are you committed enough to spend that extra time? And sometimes it's a lot of extra time, right? And that's how life is. Some things are easier than other things for us, right? And those things that are harder, right? Look what she just said. She surrounds herself with people that have answers that could help her explain it. And she uses the resources. For this certain class, they're using this program called Alex. But when you have a resource in life, not everyone uses it the same. These cell phones, for example, they're a powerful tool, but they could be a distraction, and they could be so many other things. So they could lead you in one way or another way. Mm-hmm. And so the way you decide to use your resources is going to be a life changer, really. And so, again, I really hope you're taking notes and learning from these are great life skills that could be applied to anything in life. And then so many times they come back to, you have to understand and believe that you can, because you can.
Yes, it's true. And I am taking the class at home. I'm taking a hybrid, so it's a little bit more challenging for me because I don't see the professor live every day. Magdalena, she's taking the class in person, so she has a different benefit versus my benefit, but it comes to the same. We're on the same page. But I really believe that anybody could do it. Anybody could take those 5 minutes, put their effort. And one of the things that's really have helped me, I'm very religious, and I have put God in everything. I offer my sacrifice that I've been doing for God to open my mind and to resuscitate my brain, I've been out of school for a long time, and God has been very merciful and helped me, to achieve what He has for me reserved.
Well, you must be praying for me a lot. This is working.
Yeah, because I went to a retreat this weekend, and I told her I was gonna, take a little break, do my homework, and take a break, and for myself. And I told her I was gonna pray for her. So like I say, having positive thoughts in your person, it's taking a break from your own personal life. From my kids, my husband. We have a small business. So I'm busy too, but this is something that I know God had it for me reserved, to continue my education. I want to make my sons happy, my son in Italy happy. I want to make my parents proud. I want to make my husband proud. So all of that, I feel that pressure, but that pressure it's a good vibration, a good vibe. That you're gonna continue ahead no matter what obstacle you have. You're gonna continue ahead.
And I want to highlight some things that are very important here. So I want this process to be for you to enjoy it, right? So she highlighted on some key things. Number one, make sure you have time for the things that are gonna fill you up, that balance, because that stress is real. And when you have that stress, what are you going to relieve that stress? She just mentioned what's helping her tremendously, and that's the same thing that helps me tremendously. And then think about what she just said. The message is how much she cares for her friend. So when you're around that, again, when you're around people who are thinking of you, and she's rooting for her, and she's rooting for her, that love that spills out when you have that, and you feel that, oh my goodness. And if you're a teacher, if you're an educator watching, right, the number one tool to help your students succeed is to actually care for them. And if you're watching, you already know that. And because when you have that love and that compassion, like, what aren't you gonna do, right? And so, thank you guys for your bravery. Something's in your mind.
Now that you say something about feel the love of your teachers. When we were taking the GED, we took a summer class, and we had a different teacher. I'm not gonna say the name, but her personality was totally different from what we know from
We're
around.
exposed.
So every time we ask a question, she was like, "You should know." I mean, it was a totally different world, right?
Yeah.
So it makes us feel like nos estaba regañando.
Yeah, she was getting mad at them.
Yeah, so I told her, we're just asking a question, no nos regañe, maestra. I was just kidding. And she got like, no estás regañándolos, así hablo.
That's her personality.
Yeah, that's her personality. She wasn't getting mad at them.
Then I mentioned you or
mentioned to me.
You or somebody else, and I said, this is how the kids must feel at school when they don't want to go back to school, when it's hard for them to learn, because they probably have this kind of teachers that it's not probably that they mean to be mean, but the kids, they're kids. We're adults. We already know that it's okay. We're not taking it personal. But the kids,
yeah,
they don't feel the love. They don't feel welcome. I mean, it makes a big difference feeling the love of our teachers, and we've been so lucky. Valentina and myself and a lot of students being so lucky to be around Tim, to be around John, Javier, and a lot of wonderful students also willing to be there for us.
Yeah, and our community needs people to be brave and speak up how you feel. My dad was Cesar Chavez. He was very active in his Cesar Chavez, and now I see who I take it from. I take that from my dad, and I like to keep in contact with, if it's not Dulce, another one of your students too. I try to communicate with everybody. Hey, how you doing? Because I think about myself. I do things that I wanted when I was probably a little girl. Somebody who can chime in and say, hey, how you feel? You got this. You're gonna be okay. And I'm here if you need help. Our community needs people who we started from bottom, going back to get our GED, and here we are. And we're, like I told the teacher, Dr. Perez, right now, I crossed the bridge, and I still have more bridges to cross, but I'll get there, one bridge at a time.
Amen.
Exactly.
Thank you. So we're going to close with this because, we have so many similarities in past that we places we started from. And I remember when I was kicked out of San Jose State University, and we have decisions to make, and sometimes they're not easy ones. But we got to start somewhere, and I love that you guys started. And so to help continue your support, you didn't know this, but I'm going to be providing both you guys with a book voucher for next semester for your books.
Thank you.
And just continue doing the great work, because I see the impact that you're leaving, and I'm so very proud of what you guys have done. So thank you, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for teaching us how to work together, how to work as a team, and not being individually working, trying to learn everything. Thank you for teaching us.
Yeah, and thank you for helping me find out that it was not believe in the biggest lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anybody who's watching this around the world, sí se puede. Cesar Chavez said it, and I say with my dad's words every time I talk to him in Mexico, sí se puede, hija. So you can do it.
All right. Man, thank you.
Thank you.